Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Bad Friends podcast. My name's Tomas, and I'm still bad at doing the intro.
How many
I'm joined
episodes are we in now?
episode 7 today. Happy 7th anniversary of weeks, but
But like we
it's
missed
actually been like
4.
11 weeks
Yeah.
since we started.
We've definitely missed like a total of a month worth of podcasts.
Yeah. This week, I'm joined by Connor Kendali.
As usual.
Link in description. He's always here.
Yeah,
I can't get him to leave.
Yes.
I'm looking for a new host. Applications are open now. Anyways.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of how we can start without immediately going into a topic, and this is what I always do every week. It's just this week it's kind of hard not to just go lol. You hear about that Deji thing. You hear like so much has happened on the internet this week, and I kept one of them out because I don't care, and it's like the phase stuff. I don't know if you know about it. I don't care.
Is that Phase and Tifu?
Yeah. And Tifu's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be here anymore. I want to leave.
Yes, I didn't even realize Tifu was part of Phase.
Oh, I did because he was in a Mr. Beast video before, and he was I'm in Phase.
I only know of him because Mr. Beast brought him a Fortnite bus.
I only know of him because Mr. Beast snuck into his bedroom to give him money.
Hey Connor, guess what?
What?
My phone's on 69%.
You are really funny, Tomas. When I grow up, I want to be you. So yeah, we may as well just get into this podcast topic anyway. So, Deji did a thing. Comedy Shorts Deji, owner of the famous Deji Second YouTube channel.
CEO of Tank.
Although he couldn't keep his dog Tank, he's in.
Yeah, is he still in court over that?
Yeah, he's still in court over it. Not that his brother KSI would show up to give him some support, am I right? So
yeah,
this is a very last minute topic.
Ignore that.
What'd you do that for? This is a very last minute topic to throw into the podcast because this was uploaded like 3 hours ago. So basically today Deji decided to go sicko mode on KSI and released a 45-minute video just being like, sham, KSI bad buzz.
Bad buzz out of here.
And
Not gonna lie,
don't like that, man. And he spent 45 minutes basically lampooning Ology Day.
Sorry.
No, I understand why you were laughing. But yeah, basically he was talking about how KSI doesn't support him like at all in anything, and how he beat him up and he made him play Slavery FIFA that one time, and that was really sad.
Effing chat.
But yeah, I just want to know what your opinion on it was. I made mine fairly clear on Twitter that I went in like as a complete and utter dick. Like I just...
Ooh, Connor said the D word.
Shut up. I just went in thinking this is going to be crap and just trying to pick out as many like problems with it that I could. But it's just fairly good. It's good. He makes his point clear.
Just as good, isn't it? No, it is. I said on Twitter as well, I gained respect for him. Not even just because of what he says, but the fact that he came out and said it.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, I guess, because I think KSI said he has him like... Well, KSI went on a podcast and said, I've him blocked and all this stuff, and like he's done with him and he doesn't want to ever speak to him like ever again.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up on last week's podcast, but I thought it was just such a little minute thing and it wasn't going to come back for like another few weeks, but hey ho.
But here we are.
Yeah, so... Yeah, like, it must, like, he's... With the amount he's probably cut out as well, like, he's definitely cut a lot out of what the original amount of time he spent talking about. So he probably just stood in that room for like an hour just looking at a camera, talking about all the stuff that like his brother has done that's annoyed him.
Yeah.
His side of the story.
More than that, no, I annoyed him.
But yeah, he
Go
also,
watch the video if you haven't.
Yeah, he's also kind of like, he kind of justifies himself for blowing up all of our Twitter feeds on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Being like...
Hashtag relatable.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really did see him as the bad guy.
Yeah.
For a long time. I was like, wow, he's so ungrateful and stupid, and I hate him, and I hope KSI overtakes him. And I know, like, I keep mentioning him like every podcast, but I know Tom was the same way. I think we spoke about before, and we were like, yeah, Deji's a bit of a numpty head. But, yeah, he's justified himself. I just hope they'll move on.
Yeah.
Get over.
I mean, eventually they will, but I don't know.
I would just like to see Randolph apologize.
I just want to hear. All I want to hear is Vic's opinion on the whole thing.
I want to hear what Josh Zerker thinks of this whole scenario, because you know that's coming.
These little shenanigans.
They all start uploading on their second channels now. All the sidemen after KSI did it, so like Mini Minter's definitely going to speak about it on his second channel or on the What's Good podcast, which is not a good podcast. This is a much better podcast.
What's Bad podcast? Haha. We should collab sometime at Mini Minter.
Hey, nice vid. We should collab sometime.
We should collab one time. That's a very discreet reference.
Yeah, if we're
speaking of Tom, GW,
Thomas Grant Williams. That's what it stands for,
okay.
By the way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the G stands for. It stands for Grant.
Grant.
Yeah.
Huh. That's like a giraffe's name. I don't know. That's the thing. If I had a pet giraffe, I'd probably name him Grant. Okay. Or like penis. My giraffe. Egg.
Can we move on, please?
Oh yeah, Tom gave me a shout out on Instagram after I DM'd him saying that I'd pay him with embarrassing pictures of you, Connor.
Yeah.
And then I screenshotted that and sent it to Connor. I was like, will this work? And Connor was like, lol, probably not. And then 10 minutes later, what happened? Tom Grant Williams put me up on his Instagram story. And guess how many followers I got? Just the one.
And then you did the same thing for Twitter, because you were like...
I did the same thing on Twitter because the podcast account only has one less follower than my personal... Well, it's 2 now, but I don't think that was because of Tom. So what Tom's deal was, if I followed him on the podcast account, he'd shout me out on Twitter. And then nothing happened.
So Tomas did that.
But he also said my accent was annoying, which, like, okay.
I mean, I think...
How was the GCSEs, Tom? Yeah, come on. Any 800 years of oppression? Yeah, come on there with your square head.
You know what else I got told this week as well?
That you're adopted.
Since yes. Obviously we have people who tune into this podcast always looking for, well, not looking for
the hot goss
that are in the build up for their examinations. I've been told that this podcast is very good to listen to while studying.
Hey, this podcast is kind of really good to not really listen to. This podcast makes great background noise.
Like, that strictly goes against the Matterhorn study technique.
The Matterhorn is a study technique that was developed by our Irish teacher, who extravagant man. He's actually a legend. I love him so much. He took me to kill myself.
I mean, he is so cool that he could freeze ice lollies. Thanks for ignoring that. Anyway, Yeah, what was I gonna... I was gonna make this segue when we were talking about Deji, and I was gonna be like, oh, speaking of internet beef, Jake Paul did an oopsie again.
Did he?
Now that opportunity's gone, so I'm just gonna make... That's my segue. So Jake Paul did an oopsie.
Remember when we were talking about Deji? Yeah, Jake Paul.
Hey, remember we were talking about Deji? Yeah, Jake Paul.
Anyways, what did he do?
Basically,
Pretty sure I know this.
there's an American YouTuber who goes by the name of Cody Ko. He's basically American Willany, except not as good. And basically, Jake Paul's like, there's this internet bully whose name is Cody Ko. And we're about
Your voice cut out for a solid 3 seconds.
Oh, great. Basically, there's this American YouTuber called Cody Ko. He's the bad version of Willany. Well, he's not bad. He's very good, but he's just not as good as Willany. And he's on that same vein. And Jake Paul decided to call him a cyberbully this week, showing off such great examples as comparing Logan Paul's clothes to that of a minion, and then immediately saying, I don't know how it's possible to have this much hatred in your body. And to be this little ball of hatred. And then he showed loads of different clips of Cody Ko basically just being like, meh, whoa, it's like Camus powder came up and he goes, you're drinking cum powder, bro? And he's like, I don't know how it's possible for someone to have this much hatred, and he's making all the youth so cynical now. And
Shut up, Jake.
he managed to be 8 years younger than Cody and sound closer to being a boomer than Cody ever could. So
Jake Paul sees himself as his hero, and he's just not.
Oh yeah, he started the video by saying, I don't think I'm YouTube's hero or anything.
You clearly do.
So then Cody Ko was meant to be
Will Smith is the real YouTube hero.
Cody Ko was meant to be doing this podcast, not the Bad Friends
This one.
podcast, but a podcast. And Jake Paul just showed up out of the closet and was just like, yeah, you're a bully, you bully kids. And Cody Ko's like, what kids? And he said, I've had girls tell me that they've been crying as a result of your videos. And then Cody said,
Jake, why are you talking to girls?
Who? And then Jake said, I'm not going to name them.
Because they're not real.
So, yeah, your man that hosted it, that got Jake to show up, said he thought Jake could just show up and do the part of the podcast, which was going to be basically like, what happens, it's a weird podcast, it's a very American podcast.
Wait, who is it?
They sit down and Cody Ko, who was being interviewed in this case, gets a haircut, and other people appear during the podcast and do stand-up comedy. So, yeah, it's odd, but Jake Paul was going to come out and do a bit of stand-up or something, just to try and be funny, but then he just basically went up to Cody and was like, you're a bully, you bully kid.
You make kids cry. Me make kids happy on DisneyChannel.com.
Yeah, so Jake Paul managed to get like oh god, I dropped that. Jake Paul managed to get like 17 commentary videos, at least, definitely 17. No, but he got loads of different commentary videos made in them, which is why I thought you might have heard of it, because
I heard of it, yeah, but I don't
know that many specifics. I'm gonna close my door because you can probably hear my family. 1 second.
Yeah.
God damn it. Don't they know I'm recording the Bad Friends podcast that you can find on the Bad Friends podcast YouTube channel? Disgraceful.
Which you're probably already on if you're watching this video. The last thing you want in your burger.
So yeah, basically,
number 15.
To conclude on that point, Jake Paul bad.
Jake Paul, bad man.
Jake Paul, evil.
Speaking of people, let's talk about Lewis Capaldi, because he's not on my list of notes or yours.
Yeah. So why?
But I think he's funny.
Is that the point you wanted to make, Tomas? Do you want me to come up with another segue? Is that all you want to say about him?
That's all I wanted to say.
Just
his music is good as well. Okay, I need to say something.
Okay, I would hope you would. Oh, I'm just gonna sit in this podcast and just out of nowhere sits up. I need to just say something.
I've made a severe.
What'd you do?
So, okay, I didn't really do anything, but I came to the conclusion. This was like last week.
Yeah.
About music, right? I was thinking about people's music and how, like, I was like, it's kind of ridiculous how how people are like, this person's music is shit, and I'm like, okay, I disagree, and they're like, you're wrong. I'm talking about Tom.
Yeah.
But
very discreet.
And then I was like, wow, but I was like being such a hypocrite because I say that about Picture This.
Yeah, one of our friends went to
CG.
One of our friends went to see Picture This, and Tomas basically spent the full week afterwards like, all Picture This' songs are the same 4 chords. I hate Picture This.
Well, they are. I don't hate them, but their songs are good. But they're all the same 4 chords.
And your man that was there is basically saying Picture This is the best thing since sliced bread.
And he was like, you're the one always playing those 4 chord songs. And I was like, yeah, but that's like 15 different songs by 15 different artists. Yours is 6 songs by the same artist. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say.
You just don't like people not just saying your opinion is wrong.
I just don't think people should think that their opinion is fact.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You worded that very weird.
I know, I did. That was kind of the point I was trying to make, but I was just like, you think people...
You think...
hate...
You think... You just don't like not people thinking that not your opinion is not right to facts.
Yeah, well, I just want... Next topic, I just wanted to bring this up.
Next topic. The moon.
Oh, okay, yeah. So... I don't know.
Talk about it.
Was it on trending, or did it?
I think it was trending on Twitter.
I think it just got recommended to me on YouTube. But basically, NASA, the big space boys,
National American Space Agency. Only joking. That's not what it stands for.
It's National American Space.
That's what I said.
Association.
No, it stands for. I have a jacket with NASA written on it. It stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
That is way less cool.
But no astronauts.
They don't even say astronauts in the name. How do we know they're astronauts? Basically, NASA came out this week and were like, yeah, we're going to the moon in 5 years. We're really cool. And they were basically like, we're going to go into deep space and all this other cool stuff.
Yes.
And we're going to, like, use the moon as a space to, like, live on for our astronauts, but not for you.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go even further into space. And some of these astronauts may possibly never see their families ever again.
But we're NASA. We don't care.
We're really cool. Let's face it, you still want to work for us.
NASA, you still want to work here?
That's
NASA, we don't care. We're still cool.
But yeah, they're basically like, we're gonna make a little house on the moon, and we're gonna let people live there, and we're gonna send them up some powder, and they can find their own water on the moon.
Have you ever seen The Martian starring Matt Damon? Yes. It's like that, but not on accident.
but on for realsies.
But on the moon for real this time.
Just make a new movie about it. The Martian for real this time.
The Martian on the moon, the Moonshin, starring Matt Damon. It's the exact same movie.
But
they don't even reshoot the movie. It's just the exact same movie, but they like
they make all the red
in post. They made all the red gray. Yeah.
But yeah, they basically are like, yeah. By the way, there's definitely ice on the moon, so they're just gonna drill their water. Imagine they don't
melt the ice.
Imagine they don't. Imagine they don't test it before they send people up, and they're just like, it's fine. You can get your water when you go and like mine this water, and then there's just all their like research.
Space AIDS full of water.
Well, that was not what I was about to suggest. See, what I was going to say is, what if all their research just didn't work and there wasn't actually water there? But you decided to go for a completely different route.
Connor, check the Discord. I sent Connor a funny message about NASA.
Oh, great.
Connor put it up on screen.
Oh, yeah, that's really funny. I better screenshot that and put it up on the screen. Wow, that's really
now,
funny.
right there. Right to the...
I better include
on
your
either side
picture.
Of the best. Yes, please. Actually, no, let me change it first.
Nope, too late.
Well, I'm going to change it anyways.
Okay, it's probably best
Connor,
not to have that one.
How do you change your settings? Oh, I figured it out. Put it as a picture of my toe. No, I got one.
But yeah,
fine, I got
basically, I think oh, flip off, Tomas. Basically, I think that this whole NASA it's still cool, right? For as much fun as we get.
Space is cool. I don't care.
It's really scary though. I watched Gravity this one time, and it's really scary when you really think about it. But
yeah, I don't like to think about it for too long.
But yeah, it's cool, but like at the same time, what if it's like an interstellar thing? We keep referencing movies, but like
I've never seen any space movie other than The Martian. I haven't even seen a full Star Wars.
Oh my god! Basically, in Interstellar, what happens is your man goes up to space, and by the time he comes back, his daughter is an old, frail woman on her deathbed, about to die, who was a child when he left. So I wonder if it's like that. It's going to be like, time works differently. I'm going to invent time. And it's just... That's
a very offensive reference.
Yeah.
About Stephen Hawking.
But, yeah, it's... Imagine, like, you go up to space, and by the time you come back, like, it's like a Steve Rogers scenario. You go up...
no spoilies!
It's from the first Avenger.
Oh.
But you go sleepy, and by the time you come back, everyone's dead. Like, everyone you ever knew is dead.
Apart from your grandma.
No, I think no, the first person to die. Everyone would be dead by the time.
Apart from the oldest person you know.
Apart from the oldest person you know who would still be alive. You come back and like your daughter, who was like 7 years old when you left, is dead, but your granddad's like 200 years old. he's still knocking about. Why'd you change your profile picture to Marge Simpson? Tomas, oh my god, you're my cut.
I accidentally shut down the app.
You're a silly bajilly. Basically what I said is, I laughed at my own joke because you weren't here to hear it, and I've now forgotten what that joke was.
Well, I'll just listen to it in the podcast.
But what I also said was, why did you change your profile picture to Marge Simpson?
Because Marge... Homie!
Well, I guess mine's still the "you was at the club" guy. I I need to change mine, but I can't think of a funny enough picture to change it to. Basically, I'm gonna move on. Should we do life advice?
Let's.
Yeah, let's.
Shut up.
Gmail. So this is from the guy that you told to go frick himself last week because he said, "Can I build on a different email?" He was like, "Can I build a
shop on Connor's forehead. Connor has a big forehead."
So he said, "Hey guys, so my question is which you think is the best variation of Spider-Man? Tom
Is
Holland,
it the same guy?
Yeah, Tom Holland.
This is a good question.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Shameik Moore, and how would you rank all 6 films? There's 7 films. I can't say this one to you because, as you literally said earlier, I haven't even watched the full Star Wars because I'm really cool and I get lots of money.
The Last Jedi.
P.S. Ops on Rise of Skywalker trailer. I personally am not very excited because I didn't like Last Jedi. So yeah, basically it's a lot of Spider-Man, and it's not really 6 films anymore. It's 7. Yeah, 7.
Are we including
Spider-Verse?
Okay, so there's the 3 originals, and then there's the 2, and then there's the 1 and Spider-Verse. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we'll do the movies first. We'll rank them from worst to best, and then I'll rank mine from worst to best.
It's been a long time since I've seen any of Tobey Maguire's movies.
Yeah. And it's been a fairly long time since I've seen any of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies.
I saw the first one. I saw Amazing Spider-Man there probably 3 weeks ago, and I thought it was good. I think he plays the character well.
I just think the script is trash. I think he could have been the best Spider-Man if they just gave him enough stuff to work with. Not complete trash. Trash!
Okay, so worst to best.
Yeah, to ye.
Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man 1. No. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 1. Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Okay. There's Spider-Man and Spider-Verse then.
Spider-Verse then Homecoming.
Okay. See, that's a hot take. That's a Spider-Man.
Unpopular opinion.
There's an actual section of Twitter that I've seen called Spider-Man Twitter. Spider-Man Twitter would be very angry at you for putting Amazing Spider-Man 1 over Spider-Man 2. But
I haven't seen them since I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
Leave me alone.
I can understand. I've seen the 1 and 2 fairly recently. I haven't seen 3 in a while. So mine is probably Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. It's really a coin toss. Depends on which ones I've seen more recently between Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 1. It's because I really like the emo dancing. I really like it. It is my favourite Spider-Man moment. Then probably Spider-Man 1. And then the other 3 chop and change every time I see them. But it's probably I can understand. Okay, I hate giving my opinion because I feel like I just completely nerd out whenever I speak about these topics. But
you do.
Yeah, I do.
No one cares.
Basically, I think that Spider-Man 2 is the better movie, but I prefer Homecoming to watch. So I'm gonna say Spider-Man 2, then Homecoming, and then Spider-Verse. Because I really like Spider-Verse.
Solid list. Who's your favourite Spider-Verse character?
Mine is Aunt May, because she kicks open her door really hard and says, "Oh geez, it's Liv," when Dr. Octopus shows up.
Mine is the Spider-Man that dies right at the start.
Mine is the really cool Spider-Man who doesn't live for the first 10 minutes of the movie. So yeah.
Mine is Stan Lee. He works in a costume store.
So yeah, we're gonna go for Spider-Man now. Will we go just live action? Because I think it's hard to rank Shamik more.
Yeah.
So we'll just go with the three boys. Garfield,
Okay, you go
Maguire,
first.
Holland, and that is my list. Garfield, Maguire, Holland. I think Garfield could have definitely been the best if they just gave him better stuff to work with. But from what we've seen, it's Garfield, Maguire, Holland.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen any Maguire's movies in fucking ages.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it might probably be the same. I feel like they each play a different part of Spider-Man very well.
Yeah.
I think Garfield is probably the most true to comic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But then I think Maguire kind of, I don't know, he like played him better. And then Holland is kind of a mixture of the two.
But he's really good, and I really like him.
Yeah. Yes, so I agree. I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah. Do you think we should? I think we should come up with a new name for this, so we don't just call it life advice. Because let's face it, we have got none of that.
Yep.
Apart from the question about YouTube from last week.
Yeah.
So we'll come up with a new name for next week, guys. But as always, if you do want to send us some questions or anything into the podcast, which we will discuss, thebadfriendspod at gmail.com. It'll be top of the description, just for you to copy and paste into your email, because we already know you're typing it.
And then under that will be last week's episode.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get a lot of views on last week's episode.
Because you guys clearly
Hey guys,
another hour of Connor and Tomas, the bad friends from the Bad Friends podcast on the Bad Friends podcast.
it's me, Bad, joined by him, friends. Actually, probably the other way around. But hey, because you've no friends.
Yeah. You're really cool, Tomas. I already made that I want to be you when I grow up joke, but I can't do that anymore. Why'd you change your name on Discord to Marek? Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot and put it up on the screen now, but this is what I see when I just came back into the app. I've had the Twitter open. Great, I just got an alert, which is probably able to be heard in the podcast.
I couldn't hear them.
I know you couldn't, but it's just because I have audio. All audio coming from my laptop is going into the podcast, I think. Yeah, alright. The last topic that I have written, and I don't know, do you know a lot about it? Maybe. You have, maybe. I think Alex talked about it. You seem to be a big Alex stan. But,
we stand a soft boy.
But, basically, Jeffree Star, the scariest man on the... So, last week, stop changing your name. Last week on the podcast, we spoke about James Charles and how his allegations were bad if they were true, and then the day after we recorded, keep in mind we uploaded like on Sunday, we recorded last week on the Friday because that was the day we were both free, and basically what happened is on the Saturday before I uploaded it, James Charles released an entire... Basically, he did a Deji. He did a 40-minute video where he was just like, "Hey."
Well, he did it before Deji, so.
Deji did a James Charles, where he proved everything that was alleged against him to be consensual, not fake, but consensual. And oh god, there goes my pencil. And well, I was putting a pencil recording for the podcast anyway. But yeah, he basically just proved his own innocence above all else, and then stop changing Moss. I'm trying to make a point, and I just look up, and you have a different picture of Marge Simpson. Like I can't focus on basically the leader of the whole, hey, we should like get James Charles completely cancelled. We should like finish his career. Was basically Jeffree Star because he had the most to gain from it. He became #1 beauty man, and he made a tweet after James Charles disproved us, and he was like, "You think that was true? He's manipulating you." And he was like, "I have proof. I'm recording a video right now where I can prove him to be a douchebag." And then 2 days later, he went out on a Snapchat and was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Because I want the drama to end." Despite the fact that he did call, "Stop sending pictures of Bart Simpson." Like, okay, so basically, you've made me.
I'm still listening.
Thought. Like, you're actually like hampering the podcast because I'm trying to think of the points that I was making, and now I'm having to hear a box be drawn across my dragged across my floor in the background. Can you stop dragging the box across the floor?
This is a little mess.
God damn. So basically, he was like, "Yeah, I can prove James Charles is a danger to society," and all this other crap. He was just like, "Yeah, I can prove James Charles is a complete danger to like society. He should be locked up. He's a predator." And I'm still hearing that noise in the background. It's driving me up the wall. Please stop. And it's you. You're the only other person in the room. My brother's behind me. To anyone that's listening, this is why I'm like having Tomas. I swear to God. I actually hate you. Like, I'm trying to make a good point about how Jeffree is A hypocrite, and B, if he had this damning evidence, if he had this damning evidence against James Charles, why would he not bring it out, especially if he's such a danger to society? Would he not do his part for his sweet home Alabama nation? I swear to God, Tomas, I see there's a new message and I'm not going to go in. And I'm gonna, every time he sends a new message, I'm gonna put it up on the screen, okay? So you're seeing what I'm seeing when I see it. And this is why I'm losing my trail of thought. But if James Charles is this awful person who should be behind bars, then surely you'd like come forward with it and be like,
yeah,
look at this guy, he's a criminal.
So he probably didn't have anything.
Oh, he definitely didn't have anything. It was all alleged. And then Tati, or Totty, or however the hell
goes down,
her name.
Tatiana.
Totty.
Tomos
Murphy. Yeah, he... Oh my God. Tati is not a he. She was like, yeah, I want the drama to end and all this crap. And then Jeffree's like, sham, same. And they just stopped their information. So, to summarise, James Charles takes fat W. We are sorry for reporting that you are a bad man one day after you do good thing. Not that you are listening to the Bad Friends podcast, which you all should be on the Bad Friends podcast YouTube channel. That is my point. Can you please stop sending pictures of Simpsons characters and a video of George Mimulus that I will not open, because if I do, it's going to play over the podcast and you're not going to be able to hear me. So, God's sake, Tomas. Do you have any more topics you want to bring up other than that image you sent me, and you know what one I'm talking about?
The underpants or the toe?
I mean the toe is in, like, because you got blisters, and how did you get those blisters, and why did you send me The Simpsons as Family Guy characters and Family Guy characters as The Simpsons? I hate you. I hate you so much. You, like... Forget him trying to... I will happily give up my place on this podcast if anyone else wants to take it. No, all you have to do is record it and edit it and have it up at 5 p.m. every Sunday. My family versus yours. You're really cool, Tomas. You are so cool. Do you want to speak about your topic, or do you just want to keep sending
okay.
in pictures of the flipping yellow Peter Griffin?
I went hiking I got home to the Saturday,
1 second.
25th of May.
Alex,
Okay.
can you please stop? Please. No, because I swear it's definitely going to be able to be heard in the podcast, because all
I can hear it.
is just... Like, the reason I've been talking so much on this podcast is because I'm also trying to drop...
Did you just knock over the whole thing?
Pick up the box and bring it to another room.
I heard something fall. Did you knock over the whole box?
That was like him earlier. You dropped something earlier on and it just slammed against the floor. Can you just... I know you're going to bring it down to the sitting room anyway, so why not just bring the box to the sitting room and bring that back when you're going to bed?
I just heard you go, 1 second. Can you please stop?
Yo, it's even funnier. The people on the podcast can as well, and I'm going to leave this in because this is really funny. But seriously, come on, Alex. Like, you're getting louder. Tomas, make... Yeah, well done. It took you 20 minutes. Go on, Tomas.
Can we please talk about...
Talk about your hiking. I'm done arguing.
So, my name's Tomas. I didn't talk much this episode because I was busy sending pictures to Connor of Bart Simpson facing forward and the Simpsons as Family Guy characters and vice versa. And also a thong that has room for your... It's for a man. It's called a men G-string thong bamboo fabric underwear male something. Anyways, I went hiking, so I'm kind of delusional. I left yesterday, and I woke up at 6:30 yesterday morning, and I got up and I had to be in school for 7:30. So I had a nice breakfast, and I had my bag in the school, and I went in.
Tomas, this isn't an Irish Junior Cert essay. Come on.
I climbed a mountain and fell a few times, and I got a big blister on my toe, and we camped at the night.
Which he sent into the podcast chat, which I got to see before we started recording this episode.
BTS. Behind the scenes for the Bad Friends podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm really tired, so that's why I'm kind of crazy this episode.
Yeah.
But, it was good. Went up a mountain.
I went up a mountain. Was it worth it? Like, did you have to do like all your stuff throughout the year in order to be allowed to go? Because basically what they're doing is a thing called Goshka. If you're Irish, you'd probably know what it is if you're in secondary school. Like, you had to do like loads of different, like...
So, we had to do, activities throughout the year. So, one of them was, a personal thing, and mine was cooking. So, every week you had to get someone to sign off that you'd done an hour's worth of cooking, and then you get a sign or whatever. And then, something for the school and whatever. So, once you got it, you did that throughout the year, and at the end, you get to go on a camping trip, which is what we did yesterday and today.
Yeah.
And then next September, when I start school again, I'm gonna get an award.
How do you know?
Connor, did your dad just enter the room?
I'm recording. That's why I'm trying to keep quiet.
Connor muted his mic. Because I think his dad just walked into the room.
Listen to Tomas, don't worry about it.
So now I have to fill the silence. They're not gonna Connor hear me, so I'm not gonna say anything mean about him. But DM me on Twitter if you want some funny pictures of Connor. 1 second.
Yes,
That's right.
I'm still here. And yes, Tomas was correct.
At Mossy Murphy 02.
Room, and you can probably still hear Alex rustling in the background. Surprise! And you know, you can hear my brothers speaking in the background, which is very much appreciated. Stop, please.
I'm screaming and talking.
I know, but I have a microphone, John, so they can hear you.
I'm not saying that they can't hear.
I can hear him.
Tomas can hear you. If Tomas can hear you, the podcast can hear you.
What's a podcast? Is that live?
Oh my god. No, it's not live.
Then just edit me out.
I can't just edit you out, because if I edit you out, I edit me out.
And Tomas out.
No, I don't edit Tomas out, I edit me out.
So you go for these like 30 seconds.
No, because it's now probably gone over 30 seconds. Anyway, Tomas, do you have any concluding topics before I lose my sanity?
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at mossmurphy16. Link in description. Follow me on Instagram.
And to anyone, thanks.
Jesus Christ! Stop moving that box.
Like, oh my god.
Barcelona and Valencia.
Follow me on TikTok. At Murphy. I can't read. At Moss Murphy.
It's a podcast that runs the whole way through.
A few funny ones there.
Yeah, okay, follow Tomas on TikTok then. I'll link everything Tomas has in the description to appease him.
Thanks, guys. That's it for this week.
Oh my god, sorry for this week being such a disjointed mess, guys.
It's good. I enjoyed it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, so if you guys enjoy me giving out to my sibling for rustling through a bag for an hour, then please subscribe for more, and I will try to find a quieter room to record in for next week.
I've made a decision, Connor.
Yes.
Connor, I've just made a decision.
What is your decision?
I'm going to make a Discord server. Actually, Connor's gonna do it. Because I don't know how. For y'all to join.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a link to that as well.
Yeah, it probably...
And if you want to be on the podcast, a lucky winner for next week. Okay?
Basically, okay, I'm just gonna put this in.
Surprise guests next week.
Okay. Yeah, it might not.
For guaranteed. Next week's episode.
Tomas. It might not be in the description as soon as the video goes live, because surprisingly enough, it takes a while to start a Discord server. So I'm going to...
Doesn't really.
Well, yes. It might not take that long really, but when you consider that I need to edit this, I need to render this, I need to upload this, and I have an 8-hour shift at work to fit in between editing now and uploading at 5 p.m. So...
Yeah, okay, Connor, fair enough.
So if you really
we'll tweet it out as well.
We'll tweet it out and it'll appear in the comments of this if you're not watching it possibly on the day it's been uploaded, because it'll definitely be in the comments at some point by Monday. So yeah, follow Tomas on all his socials because he needs that ego boost. And follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my channel, I guess. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
She got a bad today. Didn't even feel some weight. You let her shit say. Oh, I don't let it go. Oh, I don't let it go. Oh, I don't let it go. Yeah, going 8 like nigga. Move out the way, please don't be a hero. Bling, blow, she no skateboard P.